we are really excited to share with you guys that a developer has agreed to help us build the workshop builder that we shared a few weeks ago in a demo in the video that you can see above. We believe that building in public is a really great way to collect valuable feedback, to share learnings, and to honestly make more solid products that bring real value to the people that want to use them. So let's jump into the demo.
So in the first iteration of the tool, the way it worked is we'd add all the context on the left-hand side, add our notes, add the structure of the event, and once we kind of had a solid understanding of what we wanted to build, we'd bring it over and we'd start building the agenda. And that worked for our needs at the time, but we noticed you were losing a lot of context, and so did our users. They're like, okay, well, we just wrote all this stuff and now we're losing it when we bring over onto the right-hand side. Is there any way we can keep that context? Next, we noticed that when you added the blocks over to on the right-hand side, keeping the same colors unfortunately made them kind of indistinct. So we thought that we should kind of prioritize one of the things that we'd done in the design that we didn't think was such a priority, but was very important by changing the colors of the actual blocks so that you could see the differences between each different piece. And the last thing was, it's not very clear right now how to actually adjust the time frame of the workshop. So, some workshops are 8 hours, some workshops are 3 hours, and that's really crucial for actually planning and hosting and building your workshop, as well as adjusting the time frame you want to adjust things in. If you're doing a 3-hour workshop, for example, you'd want to be able to make the time increment smaller or larger if you're doing an 8-hour workshop, as you can see here. So those were the 3 kind of key insights that we gathered, and we'd like to show you a little bit about how we kind of went about gathering that feedback and making the adjustments.
So let's check out the new designs. We'll open it up here, and here you go. It's not the biggest change in the world, but that's not the point, right? We're like doing this incrementally. So starting off with the time constraints.
Totally.
Before it was hidden, right? You had to click on the little clock up here to kind of show and reveal it. And because the interface is a little bit not self-explanatory at the moment, we decided to just keep it exposed. And now you know that this is the time bounds of your workshop. It can't be hidden.
Yeah. And rather than actually inputting a number for your time increment, we thought it would be more fun to play with a slider and see how, the actual time slots expand and contract based off how you manipulate the slider.
Yeah, I'd say a good metaphor for this one is making it work a bit more like a zoom. You're kind of zooming in to be able to see a wider block of time between 9 and 10 a.m., let's say.
Exactly.
Or you can still input it with text, whatever works best for you. The other thing that we looked at was how we can address keeping the details of any given block visible so that, you can keep track of all the notes. And so what we have is now when a block is in the agenda on the right, on the left-hand side where you have the content, it stays visible, but it gets highlighted so you know that that's a block that's on the right-hand side.
Yeah.
And, if you kept adding more and more blocks, at some point it would look something like this, which brings us to the other change.
Totally.
The colors.
Exactly. I mean, the more blocks you add, it starts to become a little bit unclear how to distinguish between the two. So even the color on the left-hand side really emphasized the importance of being able to switch the color for the blocks in the agenda view.
Mm-hmm. And then kind of as a cherry on top is the show details view that we added. This on the right-hand side, you can toggle it on and off. And the idea is to kind of bring together a lot of the different feedback and to test multiple different iterations to see which one works better. On the right, you can see you have everything all together. The block, the duration of that block, when it starts and ends in a clean view. And one of our things that a lot of our users wanted was a PDF export. So in the future, when the time is right, maybe this right-hand side could be the PDF export design.
Totally. What's important here to note from a design perspective is sometimes you don't know what the solution would be for exposing that context. So you can propose multiple things and see what people like. For example, here, technically, we've addressed the exposing of the content by changing the color on the left-hand side. But if you want to see it ordered in a different way, in exactly the way the agenda was built, you can toggle on the Show Details button.
We hope you guys appreciated seeing the process and coming along with us for this. If you have any other ideas, you can leave them in the comments below. We'd love to hear them. And if you're interested in trying the demo, we're going to leave a link to a form in the description that you can fill out, and we'll reach out to you with a link to the demo as well as a video explaining how you can get set up using the workshop builder. That's it. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers.